with a shoe, a bunch of shoes? You kind of get to tweak them here and there. How is that process?
Yeah, I think it's honestly been like probably one of the coolest things I've got to do since. Honestly, the process started at the end of my senior year when I was at Iowa, because I was deciding what shoe company I was going to go with. And I talked to Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, and they all offered me a signature shoe, obviously some faster than others. And, you know, everybody knows Nike makes the best product. It just kind of takes a little bit longer. And so
For weeks, silence. No tweets. No statements. No response to the chaos. Then suddenly, Caitlin Clark sat down with Jason and Travis Kelce. And what she said in that interview sent shockwaves through the WNBA. Because this time, Caitlin Clark did not hold back. According to insiders, the league commissioner was furious. This wasn't just an interview. This was a moment that could change the league forever. Watch until the end, because the story explodes.
That's just a jersey that you get. I was about to say, for these practices,
17's not the best number ever. I wouldn't have picked that. But so the players that like have been on the national team prior get to continue wearing their jersey, like that practice number jersey or their jersey, obviously until like they're done playing on the Olympic team or whatever happens for the next Olympics. And then all us newcomers, there was a lot of young people at that camp. We just get assigned a random number. I guess I got.
For months, Caitlin Clark was everywhere. Highlights, sold out arenas, broken records. But when controversy hit the WNBA, when league decisions raised eyebrows and fans accused leadership of holding her back, Caitlin went quiet. Some thought she was being protected. Others thought she was being controlled. But behind the scenes, she was waiting, and she chose her moment carefully. Because when you speak on the Kelce platform, the entire sports world listens. Jason and Travis didn't start with drama. They talked basketball, work ethic, pressure, expectations. Then the tone shifted. They asked Caitlin about being the face of women's basketball. She paused. She smiled. And then she said something that instantly caught attention. She admitted the pressure wasn't just coming from opponents. It was coming from inside the system. That one line sent fans into meltdown. Caitlin didn't attack. She didn't name names. But she made one thing clear. She wants women's basketball to grow, not stay comfortable. She talked about freedom, about letting stars be stars, about not being afraid of attention. To many listeners, it felt like a direct message to the league. Stop trying to control the moment. Let it happen. That clip went viral within minutes. And insiders say that's when phones started ringing at WNBA headquarters. Here's why this wasn't just another podcast appearance. Jason and Travis Kelce aren't WNBA media. They aren't league-friendly insiders. They're crossover power, NFL audience, mainstream sports fans, massive reach. By choosing this platform, Caitlin Clark took her story outside league control. No edits, no filters, no PR spin, just her voice. And that scared people at the top.
Raiders. Trav should be, considering we've played them twice.
It's been a very rough go around for the Raiders since I've been in the league.
So you got running back, you'd be Marshawn Lynch was probably the best one, but he was better in Seattle.
Yeah, I don't know if his numbers are with the Raiders.
Have they had any good receivers over there?
Yes. Why can't I think of his name?
It's going to be a tough one if you can't think of his name.
I know.
Brock Bowers had a hell of a year.
I was going to say, Brock Bowers, he had a game where he had like 50 fantasy points, but I don't know how he's done the rest of the year.
He had like almost 200 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. I don't know if that's going to be
that's probably not
year's
good
worth. Yeah. Last year he had a lot of.
We need somebody that's had a solid year. Should we pass?
It's not a bad pass.
You get one pass.
Who was the receiver on the when they won with Rich Gannon? Who was the receiver?
Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Nike commercial. Simple, clean, cold, no league messaging, no bigger than basketball speeches. Just Caitlin Clark being inevitable. According to multiple reports, that ad created serious tension. Why? Because it showed something impossible to ignore. Caitlin Clark is a global brand, independent of the WNBA. And once a league realizes it doesn't fully control the spotlight, panic begins. Insiders say the commissioner's reaction wasn't subtle. Emergency meetings, intense discussions, future protection language. Because the fear wasn't just about Caitlin. It was about precedent. If Caitlin Clark can speak freely, build independently, and dominate culturally, what happens when other stars follow?
With my family, so we were just down there chilling, hanging out. So it was nice to get in some warm weather and taking a little time off after the USA basketball stuff I had, and now just pick back up and get ready for the season. I guess it's going to be here in a couple months. So, and you guys are welcome to a game anytime.
Come on now.
Oh, absolutely.
You know we're there.
Yeah.
You know we're there.
Absolutely.
Rocking the CC1s on the hardwood.
That's right.
Let's go.
I got to get the CC1 so I can dunk. That's what's going to
That's what you're
happen.
missing. That's what you're missing. You need that new technology. It's just going to spring you up there, Jason.
Perfect. Let's go.
And this is where the numbers matter. Analysts estimate Caitlin Clark directly impacts TV deals, sponsorships, ticket sales, merchandise, and future expansion, but only if she's embraced. If the league is seen as restrictive or hostile, that value doesn't disappear. It leaves. Experts warn mishandling this moment could cost the WNBA hundreds of millions long term. Not overnight, but slowly, silently, painfully. After the interview dropped, fan reaction was immediate. This is leadership. She's saying what everyone's afraid to say. Let her cook. What fans didn't see was arrogance. They saw honesty. Someone who loved the game, but refuses to be boxed in.
Today, these people they're only in this for profit. And they are sick of eating losses on this league that they can't profit on. Like, they are not going to profit they will profit from expansions. But what they're not going to profit from is they're not going to profit from the franchise value. That's what the owners are going to do. That is what the owners are going to do. It's one of those things where there are outside investors who, by the way, own 58% of the league, that with this current deal will never see a cent. And that is where the problem is that the franchise values doesn't matter, because I can guarantee you that even with these numbers, all 13 WNBA owners want the league to go ahead and will be glad to accept, because these numbers are super low. 5 million.
And the longer the league stays quiet, the louder Caitlin's words become. Here's the wildest part. The WNBA has spent decades fighting for visibility, fighting for respect. Now the biggest spotlight in its history is here. And instead of celebration, there's tension, control battles, fear of change. Caitlin Clark just reminded everyone of a simple truth. Stars don't ask permission. They create gravity. Now all eyes are on the league. Do they adapt? Do they evolve? Do they embrace the moment? Or do they push back and risk alienating the player driving the future? Because Caitlin Clark didn't declare war. She did something far more powerful. She spoke calmly, confidently, on her own terms. And that's what shook the system. So here's the real question. Was this interview a warning or the beginning of a new era the WNBA can't control? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you felt the shift. Subscribe for the stories behind the headlines, because Caitlin Clark just changed conversation and there's no going back now.